Right, Afrimums from all corners of Africa.
part to make the child understand, oh, these are certain things. Now, we call them skills. The motor, we call it the motor skills or the fine motor skill, the gross motor skills and the fine motor skills. So many of them are meant to be taught from the home before bringing them to the school, though the school will still assist. But majority should be from the home. So if I have a child and I know my child is growing, now there's so many things I have to involve my child with now. Now it comes for respect. My child should know how to greet, because there's some children, they don't. So now the teacher is the one now teaching the child how to greet. Now you see so many children would walk past you. Before we come to the secondary part of the teaching, where we have the writing, the English language, the literacy, the numeracy, and every other subject that is coming in right now. So for me, parents have a lot of work to do from home before bringing the child. You know, the child is being safe at home with the parents now, and then they're coming out, and then you're bringing them to a very more complicated place now, where there are a lot of people now, all the children coming from different background now. So there are a lot of things parents need to deal with before they bring the child to.
Okay, so I think mine is a build up of our question. So I think it's a two-way thing. As much as we have parents who don't realize that they are partners in this parenting journey, I think there are some teachers too who are oblivious to that part. They feel this is just a job.
It's just a job.
Job for me. So how do we bridge that gap? As in, what are the tips to build a strong parent-teacher partnership?
Number one, communication. Communication. Now, there must be communication between the teacher and the parents. Now, if you're a parent, Chisu, now in your children's school, there's something we call the progress reports, like a communication book. Now, at the end of the day, the teachers send in that communication book and detail whatever has been done for the day. Now, when the child takes that particular book home with their assignments, yes, we know many of these parents are actually busy, you know, the 21st century parents, whatever, but definitely you should have like 15 minutes per se to go through your child's work. You get to it now. Now, when you're done, open the communication book and see what the teacher has already detailed there for you. Oh, today, let me say, Dami C counted 1 to these, or Dami C was able to identify and sound these particular alphabets or notes these. Now, you have gone through the communication book and you've seen what the teacher has already communicated to you. Now you can express your own concern in the communication book. But as I talk to you, many parents don't do that. So they send this communication book, the teacher send it back to the parents like, this is what your child is doing, you're getting it. So if you have any concern, please note it there. Now, many parents don't do it. They don't sign on it. They don't even give a feedback. And then they return the book back to the teacher like that. And how do you want the feedback? Are you saying it now? So as first, it should be communication. And then number two, parents should actually appreciate the teacher's expertise. Now, many parents they look down on teachers. They believe they're just there. I bring my child and just, let me use the word, when I used to work in the school, we normally use the word glorify nannies. You're getting it, yes. So I bring my child, I've paid the fee, do whatever you want to do. Come on. Many of us are professionals. The same way doctors, they go for their professional degrees, and the teachers, we do. As I'm talking to you, I am a Microsoft certified educator in West Africa here. You get to it. So there are many of us who are, not many of us, the teachers are professional because they know what they are doing. So appreciate your teacher expertise. When you come, talk to them the same way you talk to your executives. in the office. So don't look at them. Don't look at them down like I just brought my child to you and then you're just there to teach. No. So it should be appreciate their expertise, appreciate them, and always give them a word of encouragement. I remember when I had this particular parent. She's a doctor, and each time she would come and then she would complain about her daughter. I'm not going to call the name. The daughter wasn't spelling this and this, and then I had to tell her, "Ma'am, can you come over to the school?" And then the day she came. Now, normally, I would bring the child's book and then show. No, this is what I did. I had to write out some words, spelling words. I wrote it down, and I gave each one of every child a paper, and I gave the mother that spelling word. And I said, "Cool, now you can call her." And then she was like, I was like, "No, now I want you to be a teacher now, just for that day." And I gave her the spelling paper, and then she was calling the word. Now remember, she complained her child wasn't spelling. Now, when the child came over and then gave her, she was just marking, I told her you can mark their work. And when it was her child's turn, the child gave her her spelling word. She scored 9 over 10. And then she was like, "Can you imagine?" I was like, "No, you were thinking she doesn't know it, or you were thinking I wasn't doing anything. You're getting it." That was why I gave you the word. And most of the word I gave to her were not words that I would definitely give them. They were just new words I just brought up, and I said, "Okay, try it on them. You're getting it." So always appreciate your child's teacher's expertise, and then number 2, communication matter a lot. So there should be communication, and that communication is when they send in progress reports or whatever they're sending, the parents should go through it and then give their feedback.
Okay, so if you're a parent out there or a teacher out there watching us, I would like you to I would like to read out a quote to you that I saw, and I think every parent, every teacher should have this at the back of their mind. It says, "No school can work well for children if parents and teachers do not act in partnership on behalf of the child's best interests." That's Dorothy H. Cohen. And I think it's a very important thing that every teacher and every parent should have at the back of their mind. It is because most times what I see when such issues arise, teacher versus parents, is usually an ego issue between the teacher. The teacher feels, "You can't teach me my job." The parent feels, "This is my child. I know my child better." But if you can take yourself out of the situation and think, what is in the best interest of this child, then I think it will be able to foster a better relationship. You can't keep and the same thing goes in the home. When a father is trying to show and demand of the house, and the woman is showing, "I will not submit for you to ride over me," at that point in time, take yourselves out of the situation and think about these children who are still in their formative years, who have been entrusted into your care to mold, to take care of, and ask yourself, this action I am about to take, this situation that I am creating, is it in the best interest of the child? Because we've had situations where parents, go after their children, they are at loggerheads with their children's teacher, and you forget that you still leave that child under that teacher. That is setting up that child for whatever, because the teacher will probably most likely victimize that child. So at that point in time, think of your child's best interest. And just like what our guest has said, she's talking from the place of experience because she has the experience. I think communication is one of the bedrocks of any relationship, be it parent-teacher, be it parent-child, be it spouse, be it employee-employer. There is no relationship that can thrive and survive without communication. So make it a habit. I'm sure there are some schools who the concept of progress reports is foreign to. Maybe they don't do that. But you as a parent, take out your own time. Go to school sometimes. Ask, how is my child really doing? Or you as a parent, take out time. Call your parents. Okay, so I noticed this about this child. I think you should help me out in this area. This is this and this. That's how you're able to foster a synergy that helps us bet the next breed of African teacher. We have had a lot of children that teachers have mad. If I was to be a mathematician, My secondary school mathematics teacher killed that vision and that dream. That's to show you how much impact a teacher can have in the life of a child. It was on our 19th episode, and even some of our previous episode, I shared about the teacher who got each classmate to write something about their classmates and see the impact it had on their lives, even down to their adulthood. So if you're a teacher watching us, understand that you are a partner in this journey, and we can't do without you.
So I've been scribbling away, and somebody who is observant would have been asking, what is Zoe writing? Please allow me write. So while listening to you, a few questions came to mind, one of which is this. So we give birth to our children. Like you said, we subject them to traditional education, which is I pass on virtues and values. I think my child should already begin to learn.
To have,
Somebody who is next door does the same. Another person somewhere. Sometime in their lives at the age of 5 or 6, we knock at the door of a school, and then we send all 3 children to that spot. Now the question is, perhaps I did my job. The other person did a little of the job. The other person did nothing. But now they are in the same class. Where does the teacher, I don't know, is there some kind of understanding or training that teachers are given to know that certain children's parents are doing a homework?
Yes.
Certain other children's parents aren't.
Yes.
Do they have that understanding, or is there this kind of understanding that there should be some kind of is it like a separation, or can there be, for instance, I think that I should be very clear. For instance, certain parents teach their children no foul languages.
Yes.
You don't speak
You don't
this
speak,
way.
yes.
Another child, in fact, it is the parents that teaches them to speak these kind of ways. But then they are meeting, and children are impressionable. So do the teachers have this understanding that there should be some kind of is this separation or sieving, or what exactly do teachers do?
Okay,
in
so
this kind of
on this part now, on these particular parts now, teachers, we've got that training. You're getting it now. We know that these children are coming from different background, different families. You're getting it. Just like you said, now there are some children that would come in, their parents have done the homework, and then there are some that they've done half-baked, and then some none at all. Now, there's something we call differentiation. We call it differentiation because
in the teacher
in
training?
the teacher's training.
Okay.
Now, there's something we call differentiation. Even in the classroom there, we know these children are different. You're getting it now. So what we do now is for those ones that don't really have that kind of hold, that this older child that is coming from a parents that have done the work, we identify it first. So as a teacher, identify the problem. Are you getting it now? So we've identified, okay, fine, you're coming from this home whereby this thing was not inculcated.
Yes.
So we bring you closer and we start developing that stuff. We're not going to throw you away. You're getting it now. But first of all, we would communicate with the parents. First of all, identify the problem. You've identified it. And then you've reach out to the parents. Oh, ma'am, please, I notice this and this. You're getting it. So whatever feedback they give to you, now there's some parents that would be defensive. Like I said, they'll be very defensive. Oh, please leave. That's the way
I want to raise my
I want my child to be. Oh, please, I don't have that time. How do you expect me? I work 6 to days.
You sound like you're speaking from experience.
No, I am. I'm telling you. I use
with some painful experience.
Oh my God. So they will tell you, I work from this hour to this hour and you expect me to... That is why I paid you. So now when you hear such words, are you going to throw that child away? No. So every child in your classroom as a teacher is your own child. Like you baited them. They're your child. You're getting it now. So what we do now, we've identified the problem, like I said, and then you've reached out to the parents. Whatever feedback they give to you, buckle it, swipe it out, and then bring that child closer. And then now start making the child understand why things should be this way. And as you're doing it, make sure the examples you're giving are from their own group there. Are you getting it now? Now, the teacher should be careful not to make some comparison so that this other child doesn't feel, oh, Miss Tess is actually comparing me to this person because he's from this. So you're like, are you calm? When you come in the morning, what do you say? Good morning, can you tell Zoe? Oh, Zoe, the best thing you can do is let them teach themselves. Don't do it to yourself. So you like, are you calm, please? Can you tell Zoe, when you come in the morning, what do you say? Oh, Zoe, when you come in the morning, you say good morning. Ayo, did you hear that? Yes. So, Ayo, can you go outside? Now knock at the door and then come in. And then you do that. See, every day you're doing that particular thing, the day you will forget as a teacher, the child will open that door and come to you where you're sitting. Oh, good morning, Miss Tessie. Good morning, friends. Are you building the skill? Yes, you are.
Wow.
So the first thing, identify the problem. Are you getting it now? So once you identify it, then reach out to the parents. Whatever feedback they give to you, that's when you start. So if they give you a negative one, don't squeeze your face, don't grumble, just throw it off your shoulder and then walk with that child.
Wow.
You're getting it now.
Wow.
So
Thank you.
you're welcome.
Okay. Wow. So I don't know about you, but some skills are falling. And if you listen to our guests, just like Zoe said, it's experiential knowledge. This one is not something they Googled. When someone is talking from AI knowledge, you can tell. And when someone is talking from experiential knowledge, you can tell. But then again, so we don't sound like a broken record. Everything we're saying here is, for every topic we have tried to, play around on the A.R.A.L show, it is to one goal, to make sure that the future is better. And how? By intentionally raising the new breed of African leaders. And like we always say, it begins at home, continues in school, and goes into the society. In fact, I think children spend more time in school than they do at home. Because I think most of their hours at home is actually sleeping hours. So they actually spend more time in school. So if that is the case, then you as a parent should intentionally begin to see your teacher, your children's teacher, as a partner, not as an enemy, not as an adversary or someone who doesn't like your teacher. And also, I think, so let's talk about school policies. Because I know there are some school policies that do not
allow communication with teachers and parents.
Yes. Like I have some schools, they will tell you don't have direct communication
with the
teachers, and the teachers do not have direct communication with the parents. And also there are some other policies that some schools put that sometimes they could be quite helpful for the children, other times they could be very detrimental to the child.
Do you want to give an instance so that's well?
Okay, so for example, one of such that is helpful for the children, there are some schools where junk food is banned. They don't allow you give your children junk food.
Like juice.
So it has to be freshly made food or fruits.
Yes.
So those are the stuffs. Then for policies, for example, so one of those times, for example, I'm very particular about the kind of songs I play for my children. So while I was looking for a school to put them, one of the questions I kept asking is, what are your parties like? Because they say once bitten, twice shy.
Forever shy sometimes.
Forever. So because I have had to withdraw my children after 2 terms. And you know what it is to register a child, buy uniform, buy everything, and then you're withdrawing that child just after 2 terms, regardless of how much you have spent to register that child. And it was just for one major reason, the kind of songs they were playing at. In fact, that one was so close to the school because for me, one major aspect I look out for when enrolling my children is proximity.
Exactly.
So it was so close that when they're on assembly, everything, I'm hearing it from my house. So the same thing when they're doing parties. So that particular time, they were doing party from my house. Next thing I heard is, I do like woman. I said where? I said where? I needed to be sure that it's not coming from the school. Children party. How? And see a lot of children were echoing it.
And dancing, singing it.
I As in, I was like, from where to where? As in, I don't understand.
But hold on. Now, when it comes to that part,
Hey.
now let me address that part. Yes, we've got so many parents coming in complaining about maybe the song that was being played in the party and everything. But there's something parents are actually forgetting also. I'm not trying to like defend it. No. Now, most of this music are being played at home too. Remember, there's DSTV at home.
That's the problem.
And then
for
these
someone like
children-
me,
narrows down to
This
the
is
question
the
I
question
just
she asked.
Mhm.
Someone
So
like
now-
me, I don't
now-
play them at home.
Yes, you don't play them at home. You're getting it now. But you're the only one now. What about the other parents now
Okay, so
from the other homes?
so
Are you
that's
getting
what
it
I'm
now?
saying. That
Mhm.
it's based on policy,
On
and that's why I
policy,
said,
yes.
parents, if you know what your values are as a family, it helps you even down to the choice of school. I made that decision to remove my children because I saw it is a fight I can't win. Because there were obviously so many other parents who don't mind.
Yes.
Do you understand? So what I did is look for another school that their values align with mine.
So because I'm interested in your question, did you get a school that told you
Yes,
what their parties are like?
Yes.
Yes,
so-
I
And have
did.
you had the experience of their
Yes,
parties?
all their parties. Because I'm not saying come and play gospel song alone at
But
their
make it-
parties.
just make
but
it
censor
something,
it. There are some
censor it, yes.
secular songs that are clean content, refreshing content that children can comfortably sing. Just like, for example, this guy, Spyro, My Paddy, all those
Yes,
songs.
those
My
songs,
children
yeah.
sing it, but they are secular songs. Because why? It's songs that maybe that promotes friendship and all those stuff. So there are also songs like that. So we actually got a school that was also in line with that. And that was the school they attended till we moved out from that area. And their parties, you come, same music. You're not hearing Shake Bum Bum. You're not hearing Wine Waste. You're not hearing. And we also made up our mind that if we're not able to get a school that is not able to censor the kind of songs that they play, then they won't attend the parties.
Okay.
So I pay for the school fees, and I tell you, pump and plain, my children will not attend your parties. I might pay, I might not pay. Maybe you give them, send their gifts, their food or whatever across to them, but they will not attend the parties. So those are the things that I'm saying. And like she said, there are parents that even play it in the house.
Yeah, the plate in the house.
And
yes.
it still boils down to your previous question. So it's a clash.
So it's
the
a clash.
child is going out there to meet a whole lot
A
of
lot
other
of
things.
people,
But the
like I
thing is,
told
it's
you,
a fight
yes.
for values against
And
values.
like, if you listen to the first thing I said, that the first school the child is getting from is where? The home. So if the child gets a very good value, moral value from the home, it comes to school. You get now. There are some things that the child. Now there are some things that the child knows that no, this thing is not being done in the house. Yeah, child knows that no, this thing is not being done in the house. Yes, there are a lot of people around. Yes, there are a lot of people around. Should I curtail my value or should I? Yes, there are a lot of people around. Should I curtail my value or should I cut it off? Should I curtail my value or should I cut it off? Are you getting it now? So if, like I cut it off. Are you getting it now? So if, like she said, as a parent, you know, are you getting it now? So if, like she said, as a parent, you know what you want. What you want. Are you getting it? You know what you want. You come, identify the thing. Are you getting it? You know what you want. You come, identify the thing you want and put your child in the place that you want the child to be. A child in the place that you want the child to be. Are you getting it? So the same thing with the teacher too. So when you're bringing your child to the school first, identify with the teacher to know the kind of teacher you're getting it now. How the teacher relates and all of that now. So by the time there is that good communication between you and your children, there won't be any problem. Now, when she talked about policy, now, yes. Now, there are some schools that have the policy. I would say most schools, all schools, have this policy that teachers should not communicate with the parents, because we've had a lot of time that some, I'm so sorry, but a lot of time teachers go way overboard
In what sense?
by calling some parents, you know, asking for things which are not meant
favors,
to be.
asking
Yes.
for favors.
Yes,
Oh,
you're getting it. So some school policy will tell you before you speak to the teacher, if you want their number, that's why there's an admin. And that's why there's a HOS, the head of school. You're getting it now. So they could pass your information to the admin, and then the admin would get whatever feedback from the teacher. Are you
From
getting
the
it?
parents.
From the parents, and then give
Give
it to the teacher, and the teacher gets the feedback from the teacher and then pass it
This
to.
is it.
Now, if it's something which you are not clear about, you can come into the school now. Now, when you walk into the school, the HM, the admin, and then the teacher, and all of you can have a round table where you can discuss. You're getting it now. So for that policy, yes, because of the past experience of things that have happened, that is why they don't allow it. You get it. So if you need any feedback, you can walk into the school or call. Or please, maybe call the previous day. Oh, please, I would be coming into the school. Please, what time can I come in? Because anything from 8:30, you can enter the class. Because that's working hour. Because that's a school hour. You're getting it now. So you can call them, and then they can tell you, okay, fine, you can come in by 8 o'clock or 8:30. We can give you an audience of the time. Because the teacher would have to go into the class and start their lesson. You're getting it. So those policy, these are the main reason why this policy are like that.
Thank you so much. As I listen to you, I think that, well, of course, that's what listening actually does. So when we actually listen, it propels questions, and those questions eventually leads us to clarity. So I can hear a parent who perhaps has these kinds of policies and says, this is why I don't communicate, because there's this policy. So I can think of a proverb that says that a bird that wants to fly, you then shake the tree. So the parents, I did not even want to communicate before. You not came to put bureaucracy. And yeah, because.
Right?
But please keep in mind that this bird that wants to fly,
Yes.
think about the fact that you have a chick.
Yeah.
So before you
Exactly,
fly,
before you fly,
remember
yes.
the chick. Please, a question comes to
No,
mind.
no problem.
So me, there has been a spike in teenage pregnancy,
Oops.
right?
That's very right.
There has been a spike in some kind of funny pregnancies. They just find their way. You know, somebody gets raped. The family says you are not getting rid of this pregnancy. A child comes. So there's not exactly a planned parenting,
Yes, that's right.
and there's not exactly a system.
Yes.
But again, remember when we were counting? Child 1, child 2, child
child
3.
three.
Now there's child 4. Child 4 is coming from a place where just because he no longer wears diaper, he must come to school. So there isn't exactly a person to give you feedback, but that child has to go to school and is in your class. So,
Like now, if I go back again, if you remember, I said always identify, as a teacher, identify the problem first. You're getting it. Now, yes, let me use myself for example. Now, I had, when I was in the EYFS, that's the early years, which happens to be from 0 to the 6 years. That's what we call the early years now. Now, I taught them more before I went to the primary. Now, I had children coming from broken homes, whole home, and then single parenting,
okay.
just like you said, the teenage pregnancy coming in. Now, there are times some of these children now, their parents don't give me a feedback of whatever. You know, they come, they just admit the child.
Yes.
Remember what I said? Some of them are just there to dump their child. You're just there to come and learn. This is I have paid the school. No, I have a parent who has told me, I paid the school fees, I paid you. But they forget the word, you pay the school fees, I am giving you my service.
True.
Are you getting it now? Good. So now, this child comes in. Sometimes the school don't give you the proper feedback of whatever, whether the child is coming from this or whatever. They just tell you, oh, the child is in your class. Oh, and then you
I'm that kind of child, and this is how I come in.
and then you so they don't tell you exactly. Now the child is coming in. Now there's no feedback, there's no information about. They just tell you, oh, they just brought the child, he's in your class, and then you as a teacher, you're like, oh, Damisi, welcome to the class. And Damisi is like,
Where are you?
oh, Damisi is like,
Help.
you know, the different emotions now.
Exactly.
And you as a teacher now, you've collected Damisi. Damisi is under your care right now.
Yes.
So you bring Damisi, you put him in the other group of children now. Are you getting it now? And he sits down there. Now remember, Damisi is coming from a home which is not the way all the children. Now there's some things Damisi will see and is like, what are these ones doing? This is not how we do things.
Exactly.
This is not how we do things. And it's there, you know, calculating in his head and everything. Now, let me say Damis is coming from a home whereby they fight all the time. There's abusive everything. He would showcase it.
True.
Because any little thing, maybe a child wants to, he's aggressive. So as a teacher, remember, identify the problem. Try to know the child. You're getting it. Observe the child. Now, as you're observing the child, there are a lot of things now that will be coming in. And then you're like, okay, this is how I'm going to work with this child now. Now, you found out that this child is very aggressive, or this child is very shy, or this thing.
Yeah.
Now, if it's for the shy type child, you have those talkative set of children.
Yes.
Those ones that can talk in the class, they can ginger. You put that child in their midst.
Okay.
Are you getting it now? Now, for the one that is very aggressive, now look for that child that is very tame, that would, if he wants to, you just like, there are children like that. Like, stop
they're
it.
quiet.
They're quiet, but what they do...
Quiet mover, silent
They're quiet,
mover.
they're silent. So you've already identified each of your children's
Their
strengths. You know their personality. So you know where you're going to put this particular child now. So like I said, if it's that one that is coming that is very shy, maybe in their house they don't talk to the child, everybody's doing their business, put the child where this older child that they talk. So let me tell you, by time 1 month, 2 months, you see the child is out. For the aggressive type now, put that child where those older ones that, by the time they pinch him 1 or 2 times, I'm not saying they should
Set
pinch
him
you,
in
please, like they will set it,
him in
and
order.
then you're like, stop it.
temperate.
Yes, because in that particular table, they're not aggressive. So by the time he wants to, they're like,
Calm
what are you
down.
doing? Sit down. Now there's some children that will give you that eye contact of,
Actually.
like,
What
and then the child is actually like confused, like, you're getting it now.
Yeah.
You're not doing the work. The children are doing the work. So where you as a teacher will come in.
What age are you talking about?
This is between, now, for this age is between 4,
4?
5 and 6. Yes.
You mean this dynamic can
particular-
happen?
Yeah. Oh my God.
Amongst
It
4?
is amongst 4.
Those ones are ancestors.
Remember,
in school.
remember children,
see
they
those
actually learn from what they are seeing.
My goodness.
They are curious, especially the 4 years. You say the 4 years, they are very, very curious. So whatever you're doing, you need to be very, very careful. You've not met a 4-year-old child that is so blunt. I'm not saying rude, blunt.
I know.
Miss Zoe.
I have one.
Miss Zoe.
I have one in my house.
Or someone would just tell you,
He's
Mommy,
so
what kind
audacious.
of hair is this? Mommy, why would you make this
The
kind
one
of
in my
hair?
house is so
Mommy, what
audacious.
clothes is this?
One
No,
day-
you see.
One day his dad asked me that, "Oh, where does this boy get his audacity from?" Like, he's so audacious.
So
As
these,
in,
these
wow.
are things within them. You're getting it now. So imagine you're having such child in that particular class, and then the older children are not like that. I had a child as I've had a child as he's at me. Yes, and this was a 5-year-old child. I was talking.
I said, when she was saying, my 3-year-old, he's not yet 4. He will be 4 by July. One day was doing his homework. My cousin staying with me called him. He said, hold on, I'm cracking my brain. And I'm turning. I'm like,
Yes, so there's so
I don't
many
understand.
words.
Cracking which brain? Which brain? To write 1, 2, 3.
Exactly. No, those he's
decoding.
To you, he's actually decoding. Yes.
I just looked at him. I was like, cracking my brain.
Yes, he's cracking his brain because he's trying to think about.
Then just yesterday, because they are planning for Children's Day in church, so he was giving memory verse. I asked him, I said, will you do or should we just share it? Because I don't have strength. He said he would do. I recite yesterday. He recited and stopped at one point. I said, continue. I said, I'm thinking.
Don't you meditate? Don't you pause and ponder? Even the scriptures has their seller.
Thank
Pause
you.
and ponder.
So you can imagine. So you can imagine now you see those scenario now in the class. So now as a teacher, you don't have to do the work. Let the older children. Now remember, we have the strengths. We have those children that have the strengths. So when you place each of this child that has this dynamics now, I bet you they will come out. They will come up way better.
So me, please. You know when something is very hot. So
Yes.
as I'm listening to our guest, I'm asking, or rather, I'm concerned. This is Africa.
Yes.
We are Africans.
Yes, we are.
And to be frank, we are a resilient people. Because if we're to follow our economy if we're to follow the leadership in our continent and certain factors that trouble us, we would have shut down our continent a long time ago. Now, where am I going? Many schools today are in search of teachers. And quite frankly, this hire or this call, this advert remains there for months unattended. So you know what happens eventually? They go searching for school certificate leavers. So as I listen to you, I wish that every teacher in every school had this understanding, this perspective, you know, this, should I say, maturity and experience, because sadly, there are very many untrained teachers.
Very many.
No, they are.
Too many.
No,
So what do we do?
Like we say, number one, I love what you said. The economy, the government, you're getting it now. Now, the government, or let me say, yes, the government isn't given that room. Are you getting it now for such? Although, right now, they're trying. But for the private, I know many of the private schools, they make sure training. Before we vacate, when I used to be in the education sector, before we vacate from school, we do a lot of trainings. Now, the owner of the school would make sure they send not less than sometimes 5, 6, 7 teachers for a training. And as you're coming back, you're coming to give a feedback of what you have learned so far. I don't know about the government schools, how they do it, but for the private school, I am very, very, I would tell you, they make sure their teachers go for training. So even if it's just a one-day training, even if it's a 6-month course, whatever, you're getting it, they make sure they do that. Now, for those have big teachers you're talking about now, yes, we have some schools that many owners, which is the truth. I'm not going to lie about that. Many owners of school open their school because of the profits they want.
Profits making venture.
And then you get someone who is a school leaver because you want to pay the person peanut. Now, let me take for instance, I saw such a hiring stuff. They need a teacher, maybe English teacher now. And then I walk into the school premises and I said, oh, fine, I saw this advert and I want to. And after the whole, interview process and everything, now let's come down to the remuneration, which is the money, the salary. And then you're not telling me that I'm not just going to teach English language, that I'm going to teach literature. I'm going to teach, no, I'm being serious. I'm going to teach literature, CRS, government, or let me use it in the primary section. Let me go to the secondary section. Literature, English, phonics, science, and then I'm going to do this and this, let me say 5 subjects, and at the end of the day, or at the end of the month, you're going to pay me 35,000 naira. Are you seeing where the problem is now? And then I look at you. I'm a BSc holder, a master's holder, with various qualifications. Are you getting it? And then you're telling me to my face that you're going to pay me 35,000. Now, because many of these teachers, some of them are BSc holders that are actually earning 35, 50. I know someone who's earning 50. She's a PhD student. And then because of your I don't know what to do, you're getting it. Okay, let me take it. And then you take the job. The workload is on you. You're writing lesson notes for CRS. You're writing lesson notes for literacy. You're writing lesson notes for phonics. And these lesson notes must be detailed. Because before you enter a class, every instruction of materials, everything you're going to teach has been tabled. You're getting it now. So you're not just going because you just want to open your mouth and teach. No. It's just like a preacher who is actually going to give a sermon. You've already planned yourself. You know this is what you're going to do the previous day. So the same thing with this stuff now. So you can imagine what's most of these teachers now. And then when you now, as a professional, you come in and tell these people, the owners of the school, no, why are you doing this? Are you getting it? Oh, we cannot pay someone who is a master holder or who is a BSc holder or who has this degree. But you're collecting a lot of money. Let's say, for instance, you're collecting, let's use mainland, you're collecting 100 and something thousand, and then you're giving the teacher 45,000 naira. Tell me, So how do you expect that teacher to work? Although some of them, passion, are you getting it? No matter the pay, they will still bring out their hearts and still work.
A few.
Just a few of them. So let's say out of a 10, maybe just 3 or maybe 2.
One ma.
No, let's not put 1, 2. Let's give the grace of 2. So 2 will bring out their hearts. They're passionate. You're getting it, to work. Now I've seen online where so many times I've seen the situation of where some teachers slap some children, whereby you're telling them write this, write that, this particular number, because of the frustration, the heavy load. Are you getting it now?
Low remuneration,
exactly. And then a parent is coming, and then you're adding, you're like, my child does not know how to count 1, 2, 3, 1,000. My French child is reading ABC. Now, this particular teacher has like 15 children or 20 children in the class. And now they focus on the high achievers, because we have high achievers, middle achievers, and then the lower learners. We don't call them Olodo, please. Then that was what we call, when you see somebody, you say Olodo, no, we call them the lower achievers.
For the benefit
For the
of those who are
benefit of those,
Olodo
please.
means like a dance,
So we
call
don't,
them
so we don't make use of that term. Now each child is unique.
But I want to ask you a question. Is there really a child that can be said to be an Olodo?
No,
Isn't it a situation of probably learning style and assimilation time or something?
Yes, no, they're different. No, every child has different learning
can you
style.
answer truly and not in the book? Is
No,
it
not
true?
from the book. Yeah.
Is it true that
No.
there's no child that
No,
is a
there's
dunce?
no child there's no human being on earth that is a dunce, please. No, please. Every child is unique. What you can do, I might not do it. And what I can do, you cannot do it. So it's just for us to find that strength of that child. Are you getting it now?
So is it possible that strength is not in any way academically inclined?
It can be academically inclined, and it cannot be academically inclined too.
This
It's
is
a two-way.
answer.
No, it's
Exactly.
not. No, it's not. No.
This is a political
This is a teacher in spirit and in deed.
So it's not a political answer,
Okay.
please. Now let me shed a light on that now. Now there are some children that might be good in numeracy and might not be good in literacy. Let's put it that way now. Are you getting it now? Okay. So because a child, now there are some children that are very good with some of the subjects, and some might not be all good with all the subjects. Now you're going to say those ones that are not good in all, they don't know what they're doing. Are you getting it now? So what you do is guide the child now. Now I had a situation where I had a child who wasn't very good with many. It's not, he was willing, you're getting it, he wants to learn. So what do? You take a time. So even if it's 30 minutes of your time, you're getting it now. First of all, try to identify the learning style of the student. Now, we have something we call the visual learners, we have the auditory learners, and then we have the connected learners. Now, the visual learners are children that learn through visuals, charts, television, whatever they see with their eye. They're very good. So if you're, as a teacher, you want to start a topic now, and then you play something from, let's say, now, naming word. You want to teach that subject, and then you play it on the YouTube for them, and it plays. Now, there's some children, before you even say one or two, they've grabbed the concept. So by the time you say, oh, what was the topic? Oh, Mr. C, I. Naming words. Now, there are some children that are auditory learner, which has to do with audios. You're getting it. They just play that thing without them saying it. They've listened to it and they've gotten it. And then there are some that are connected, which have to do with drawing and then games. So now there's a child you've been teaching 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Bring the flashcard in. Turn the flashcard into a game. You can actually put it on the table, turn it over, you get it, and then you tell the child, first person to get number 1. Are you getting it now? And then when the child opens number 1 and sees it, what number is this? 1. The child is excited. Are you getting it now? So identify the learning style for each of your children. So you should know, okay, this child is visual, this child is auditory, now this child. So there's no child that is A dollar, please. Please and please. And to parents, please, your child is not a dollar. And don't come to school and start shouting, my friend child can read 1, 2, 3. And
Yes,
my own child cannot.
comparison,
Comparison, that is wrong. Like I use the word differentiation. There's something we call differentiation. Everybody is different. As I'm talking now, Chisoma assimilated very, should pick it up. And it will take time for you to pick it. It will take him maybe 1 hour, 2 hours before he's going to assimilate
And
whatever
some
I'm
people is
saying.
when they sleep that
Yes.
revelation.
So you see, so that's the same thing with children too. So like I said, communication, please.
Do you know there's one girl in my secondary school that I used to know. The girl, you might be having an argument with her now. And the argument is going. The following day, she will now call. Do you know it was when I was sleeping that I really understood what you were saying? Do you know? And I know many things I could have said to you. She would not want to start yesterday argument.
So now, will you say that particular person now is a bullet? So
would not want to start it afresh. By then,
No, she's a dreaming learner.
by then the ship has sailed because you are wondering why you bringing
I
yesterday.
like her when she's married. I like to be okay. I like her because she will not be able to fight.
so now.
By the next day, her husband would have pacified.
No, apart from pacified her, now imagine she has a child that collects that
That's
picks such
attitude.
traits. So how do you do it now? You know, you've seen what many teachers go through in the class because many of these children are coming with traits that both father, both mother combined
Some are
together.
hereditary.
Are you saying
Yeah,
some
yeah,
are
yeah.
hereditary and some are the ones that the children just pick from their parents? You're getting it now. So you can see where the balance now comes in. So it's a tough one.
I remember absent-minded children. Some are absent-minded.
Because some of their parents too are absent-minded. Because yes, we've got PTC. Now there's something we call PTC, Parents Teachers Conference, where it's like PTA, but we call it the PTC. Now where they come in and then you have one-on-one discussion with the teacher. Now there's sometimes you'll be talking to the parents and the parents, some of them will think, Now in class, that particular child is doing such attitude too. You teach it like father, like. And then some parents, you're talking to them, and then they want to argue with you. We've got such children too. As you're talking, they want to argue with you. They want to give you. They want to. They're like, no, Mr. C, but is. But we turn that into the positive side now. You're getting it, and then we're like, yes, you're correct. But can we take it to this older level? So it's a broad one.
Honestly, it's been a very, I don't know about you, but for me, I've picked a lot of, I've gleaned a lot from our guests, and we hope you also, did same.
Thanks.
And we're gradually winding up this episode. Left for me, I don't want it to end. But just before we, end, just quickly, I want you to just paint a scenario. In a case where this synergy, this partnership is non-existent, what are the likely effects on the child? Where this sort of synergy between a parent and a teacher is not existent.
Now it's now when there's no communication between the parents and the teacher, it's gonna be the academics get affected. It does. Now why do I say so? Now you give the child the assignments, you're getting it now. Now there's some children. The word homework, not schoolwork. Now the child knows, okay, I've done this in class already. I know it. You're getting it now. Remember, the homework is something similar to what you've done in the class. It shouldn't be what they've not done. And now the child takes it home. There's nobody. The mom is not there. The dad is not there. There's nobody to help the child.
Maybe an uneducated maid.
An uneducated maid now is not there. Now remember, we've said the sound is, let me use the alphabet sound. Now we said the sound is ah. And then the maid look at it and say, this one not ill. Now and the child becomes confused. You're getting it now. Now we say apple. Remember the sound, apple. And then the child goes, like we're using the LES now. And the child goes home. Now they said, identify, sound, and color the object. And the child looks at this. But the child didn't remember. And then this uneducated maid now comes and says, oh, which homework be this one? This one now A now. Say A for apple. and the child is looking now confused.
That's not what
And
it
that's
means,
not what my teacher said. You're getting it. And then the child is, and the nanny is like, nah, write down, color and say A. And then when the child comes the next day, and then you're doing, the child is not confused. Ma, you said and this person is saying
Say
A, and then my mom is not there. Now you said the gaps. So if you're a good teacher, professional teacher, and then you identify that problem at that time, you bring the child. Now always, for me, when I teach, I use visuals. I play a lot of videos for my children. You're getting it. So they see, and I do a lot of videos whereby they see different, the sound, make sure it's the same sound, but different videos. So now when that child gets home, when the person is saying is A, the child will just keep you quiet. Or sometimes some of them will say, no, my teacher said it's R. Are you getting it now? My teacher said it's R. Are you getting it now? Now I've gotten some parents that will call and say, Miss Tessie, this one, that one. I'm telling him this way. Ma'am, yes, we're in the 21st century. But can you follow this approach? Yes, the approach which you're using, that's what we learned. But this is the approach now. You're getting it. So, Ma, follow this approach. And, Ma, if he's not getting it, can you also? So, as a parent, be open-minded, be flexible to learn new approach from the teacher now. So, when you find out that the child's academics, it will definitely affect. You're getting the academics will. When there's no collaboration, there's no synergy, the academics and also the moral system would also drop too, because the child feels the child is in the middle.
Yeah.
Like my mom is on, my teacher is on, so it's now a rigid complex now.
Thank you very much. I was going to make just one comment, but your last comments triggered another comment.
Okay.
So, where do teachers know to draw the line where their influence stops in the life of children? So, for instance, children are coming and they're shouting, my teacher said, and one teacher is at home feeling fly into I'm an authority in somebody's life when you are not the parents. So, where does that line stop? For instance, there's this thing where perhaps the school is trying to organize, let's say, a social event, and then for whatever reason, a certain parent feels, I don't want my child to be a part of it. And then the teacher says, when you get home, tell your parents I want to be a part of this. If they don't allow you, cry. Do you have that kind of thing?
Yes.
So the child begins to cry. My teacher said.
And the child will win.
And the child will win.
Yes.
And then you become, a parent becomes a bit frustrated. Like, you are not supposed to have this kind of power over my child.
No. There should be a balance. There should be. Now, I'll use myself as an example too. No, I'm telling you, I'll use myself. I've done that before. You're getting it. But I had to put. So what I do is when you get home, when you cry to your mommy, tell your mommy to call me. If she says no, tell your mommy to come in. Do you hear? Now, my face is not rigid. I'm like, tell your mommy to go. So when they get home and they say, Mommy, I want to, no. Okay, Miss Tessie said you should call her. Please call her. So by the time the parents call, you're getting it. We'll have it. Oh, Ma, please, why is it that you don't want her? I would listen to you. But why is it that you don't want her to? Oh, because, ma'am, I know. I understand your concern. But she used to be a shy person. Or he's you're getting it. So I want him to learn how to control the stage now. You must give a definitely good answer, a good reason, so that the parents, then when you now say that your influences now, I used to have a lot of that. It's kind of wage you bridge it. And how do you bridge it? Yes. How do you bridge it?
I can testify.
So how do you bridge it? How do you bridge it is when the child comes to the school. And then you tell the child, let me see, I'm your teacher. Please. Whatever mommy says, mommy is your mommy. Mommy has every right to tell you, I'm your teacher in school. You're getting whatever I want you to do should be in school. Now we use this word, whatever happens at home stays at home. Whatever happened in school stays in school. So let me say, when mommy say do this, mommy say you should do that, she wants you to do this, and you're like, my teacher, The only thing you do is, mommy, please, can you call Miss Tessie? If mommy said, no, I'm not calling Miss Tessie, let it be. So whenever I see mommy, I would definitely bring up the topic. Are you getting it now? So at that moment, just put a bridge and control it, because children, they're very, very sensitive.
Thank you so much. You know, a quote comes to mind, and it's very apt to me. This quote, this particular one, it was George Santayana who says, A child educated only at school is an uneducated child. A child educated only at school is an uneducated child. And if we must call a spade and not a farming implement, we would know that if you are doing your homework with your child, there's hardly a chance that a teacher's influence would overpower yours. You know why? When a child is with you from morning time, he sleeps on the same bed with you. That is some of their most vulnerable times. When you can actually speak to their psyche, their mind, their person. It's with you that they undress, where you can speak with them in their most natural forms. At the time when they need to eat, I mean, you're the one that gives them the meals to eat. There's no teacher that can actually have the kind of power a mother would have over, and that's a mother that is present.
A mother that is intentional.
A mother that is present and that is doing her job. And so, while I listened to you, a thought just came to mind, and I think that this is it. Once there is a will, there is a way. So it's true that the current economy demands that we get our hands busy alongside daddies to get a lot of, funds. But we must remember that our children will not remain children forever. Very soon, they will outgrow our arms. And then they'll become individuals themselves. Let's not give room for regrets, where we then say, oh, I wish I did this, or I inculcated this, or I inculcated that. The teachers are doing their work. And if you are paying attention, the terms are running fast. It means their influence is running fast. Also, put your foot down and ensure that as the teachers are putting in their building blocks, yours are also rising alongside. Thank you so very much.
You're welcome.
Yeah. So, in summary, this is the final. I've said we are wrapping up before, so we are wrapping it up.
So it's the most final.
So we'll give our guests an opportunity, to say something to parents. Just anything from your heart.
From my heart. I would say this to all parents, the father and the mother. If you believe in yourself, you definitely believe in your child. That's just it. If you believe in yourself, you definitely believe in your child. So you want to be an intentional parent, be an intentional parent. Like Ms. Zoe said, these children, we're not the one that is going to, groom them for you, because it gets to a point they're also going to leave. So definitely, whatever you're inculcating in them would go along with what the Bible says. The Bible says, train a child in the way he should grow in the Lord. So we do our own job, and you parents do your job. So if you believe in yourself, please have that in the back of your mind, that you should believe in your child. Whatever you want your child to be, the child will be it in a positive way and not in a negative way. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for honoring our invitation.
Is it okay to hug a teacher?
Yes.
You're welcome.
Don't worry, I get a lot of hugs. In case you don't know, she is my church children's teacher. Woo! So I got a lot of antithesis said in my house. So I got a lot of antithesis said, and at a point in time, it became a weapon. If you don't know what I say, antithesis will hear it.
So you can say that. So I had to balance it. No, I don't threaten them, but I tell you, if you don't do it, I'll call you mommy.
Leave this nice, she can be a terrorist to children. But the good thing is she's a balanced teacher, and that made her a very good person to bring on this show, because she's one person that whenever I talk to, it's easy to see that this is beyond a career for her. There's passion there. There is this, desire to see children be better and do better. So yes, this is still Digit 1024 Radio. They are our official media partner for the A.R.A.L show, and of course this show is produced by the Digit 1024 Radio. For all your sound needs, speakers, microphones, whatever it is, Digit Sound Solution is your go-to, and you can reach out to them on 080-957-33330. So 957-33330. Please reach out to them for all your sound needs, concerts, worship, whatever it is. Digits got you covered. And of course, it's still the A.R.A.L show. If you have not subscribed up to this time, just know you're the whip-on fashion that gets stopped. So please click the subscribe button and help us grow, help us take this message to the whole of Africa. This is not a Nigerian show, this is an African show. We are called to the 54 countries of Africa. So do well to share to all your friends everywhere around Africa. They need to be part of this conversation. So once again, thank you so much for tuning in.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Let me call like my children. Thank you, Auntie Tessie, for coming on the show.
You're welcome.
We enjoyed the conversation.
No, I had a lovely time. I had a wonderful. No, it was interactive, and I love the way the whole thing, the atmosphere went.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Thank you
Thank you
so
so
much.
Thank you so much.
So over to you, Zoe.
All right, please. What more can I say? Thank you very much for staying tuned up until now, and thank you for committing to raise the next generation of African leaders, one African child at a time. All right, until we come your way again, remember to tell the world Africa is coming.
Bye.
Afrimums from all corners of Africa. Rise from your slumber. The time